Today I'm going to talk to you about decisions, and I'm going to focus on two different types of decisions, and I will share two strategies to help you make better ones and stick to yours. Now, first, decision, the word means to cut off from anything else. So when we make a 100% clear decision, we save a lot of energy and we can move forward. Remember, we can always redecide. However, when it comes to big decisions, sometimes we struggle, we get overwhelmed, we get stuck, and it uses an awful lot of energy and sometimes time. So what we need to do here is we need to expand all the possibilities so that we have all our questions answered. Quite often we don't have enough information. And unless we open up and ask ourselves better questions, it might be difficult to make that decision. So there are 4 questions that I use that help with bigger decisions. And they start like this. What will happen if I do, let's say, take that job? What will happen if I don't? What won't happen if I do? And what won't happen if I don't? Now, those questions help you look at every aspect of the question or the decision. The next thing you want to do is now go, do I now have enough information on the facts so that I at least have an understanding of all sides of this decision? Then I suggest you ask yourself something like, how do I feel about this decision? Is there anything that doesn't feel right? And are there any actions or consequences that don't sit right with me? The reason I suggest those 3 questions, it actually helps us tap into all our 3 intelligences, not only our head brain, but our heart, which is the center of feelings and emotions, and our gut brain, which is actually the seat of action and identity. So it's where we take the action. So try those. And sometimes you will have to sit on the information for a certain amount of time. What I do, I gather all the information, I look at it, I think about it, I meditate on it or tap in, and then I might come back to it a day later as long as I have time. I find that way I can review it from a different perspective when I've sat on it. But we all make decisions differently. So that's big decisions. Now, the second part of decisions is those decisions that you make every day to do things and then sometimes you don't. Let's take that classic example of starting an exercise routine. So I had a client that said, you know what, I'm going to exercise 4 times a week. But it didn't happen. And the thing is, they hadn't really made 100% decision. That 1% doubt was what did them in and sabotaged their success. So there's a couple of strategies here. The first one is to plan in advance. If you want to go exercising in the morning, you need to decide the night before. You need to make a really clear-cut decision and state very clearly, tomorrow morning I am going to get up, whatever time it is, and I'm going to go for a 30-minute walk. Then you need to set your environment up to help you. So if you tend to sleep in, I suggest you put whatever you use for an alarm clock the other side of the room, and you get your exercise gear out and ready by your clock. That way you've got to get out of bed to turn the alarm off and your clothes are already there. The second strategy, if this isn't working or you're still not being consistent, it means your inner saboteurs are coming in because there's a preferential thing to do instead of that feels more pleasurable, like sleeping in. So what I suggest here is you write down your goal, exercising 4 times a week, and then you write down 3 or 4 ways that you might sabotage this, such as, well, if I'm tired, I might sleep in. My work's a bit busy at the moment and I won't feel like it in the morning, and I'd prefer to have a lazy morning and relax with my family. Whatever it is for you, you write down the ways that you know you might sabotage, because we all know ourselves better than we think we give ourselves credit for. The second step is to write down 3 ways that you will counteract this. So a counter strategy. When you recognize where you might slip up and how you can overcome it, and you write it down, you have about a 40% more chance of being successful, because you've recognized those little voices, those little doubts, those saboteurs in advance, and you've got a plan of attack. So that could be, well, I will make sure that I get all my gear ready the night before. I will go to bed half an hour early and I will set my alarm on the other side of the room. Could also be that when I will make sure that I exercise in the morning, and when I get home, I will set myself a small reward of 20 minutes of reading my book or whatever it is. So you can use rewards as well. Anything that will help you get clear and make 100% decision is helpful. So on the big picture, you can use those 4 questions that I said earlier to get all the information. Ask yourself some questions so that it sits right with you and you can make the best decision at the time. Remember, you can always redecide. When it comes to those daily decisions on those daily doings that are so important to help us achieve the goals that we want, then writing out a plan, getting ready in advance, setting your environment up, and recognizing where you may fall down or where you may sabotage your goal, and some counter strategies to ensure that you have a plan, like a plan of attack in case that happens. So I hope that was helpful. Mandy Napier, Mindset for Success. Please like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share it with anyone else you know that has a hard time or would like to make easier, better decisions. Bye for now.